Hey guys, it's me, Coach Jessica, and I am so excited. Let me tell you why I'm excited. I've been trying to post a video or a post in this group. I've been trying to post all day long, and Facebook has not let me. So it's the afternoon, but my intention was to post this morning, and it just wouldn't let me after many tries. And then I tried to post a post and that didn't work either. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about today was I wanted to kind of recap because we are, let's see, it's the 8th. So we've been in this group for, this is day 8, a little bit over a week. And I've really introduced a lot of concepts. And I think the concepts that are coming, the things that are starting to kind of trickle in and that I'm going to focus on next, really require you to think about whether you've embraced the ones that I've introduced already. So I wanted to check in with y'all and ask you where you are with embracing one, acceptance. Remember, acceptance is I understand I have an eating disorder. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have an eating disorder. It is also food addiction. But acceptance is the first concept that I want for you to really in your heart say, have I accepted this? Because acceptance means I understand that I have an eating disorder. I understand I have food addiction. And that means I must live my life a different way than other people. And wrapping your arms around that, again, is the first thing that you have got to have in order to move forward in this process. So where are you with acceptance? The second thing is commitment. I don't know if you remember what I said the definition of commitment is. I'll actually post it in the group because I think I made a graphic or something. But commitment means I do the thing that I said I was going to do regardless of temporary feelings or external circumstances. Where are you in terms of embracing that definition of commitment and making a commitment for the 23 days that we have left in this month together and in this year? Embracing commitment and saying, here's what I'm committed to through the process of the group. Where are you with acceptance? Where are you with commitment? And then the last couple things are, where am I with accepting Ed's presence in my life? I'm hearing and seeing lots of posts about Ed. So I'm actually kind of glad about that because it means you are starting to understand I do have this voice of sabotage, Ed. I'm not talking to myself. I'm not giving in to my own thoughts and suggestions, but I am listening to the voice of sabotage in these situations. And so that's the question. Where am I in this process with accepting that I literally have a voice of sabotage because of my eating disorder, because of my food addiction? I am someone who has a sabotaging voice in my head, and that is Ed. So think about those 4 concepts and honestly answer for each one of those where you are with it, because it really takes wrapping your arms around those things in order for us to dig more into danger zones, Ed's nature and the fact that he lies, and then ultimately next week we want to be talking about how do we get past that. But you have to embrace this before you can move on to next. So I really need to hear from each of you. We did start talking about danger zones, and some of you have gotten some of the vague danger zones. Like I said, hungry, angry, being too hungry, too angry, too lonely, too tired. Those are top triggers. But you should be making a list, a written list, not just here in the group, but in your own notes. These are danger zones for me. You may discover these danger zones as you struggle. You may not just be able to sit down and make a list. If there are certain people that are danger zones to you because they are food pushers or because of how you feel when you're around them, you need to list those people out, because when you find that you're going to be in contact with one of those people, one of the things that you can understand is when I'm in a danger zone, I will hear from Ed. He's going to come to me and offer me relief from how I'm feeling, relief from the situation. And now he lies, so the relief he offers is false hope. But it's important that you understand you're going to hear from Ed in those situations. And if you're constantly caught off guard because you're not aware of your specific danger zones, you will say, I don't know what happened. I was good, and then all of a sudden I was stuffing my face. It's not the way it works. There is always a process that happens. You're in a danger zone, you get a suggestion from Ed, and then you act on it. It is never, ever, ever just something where you go straight to stuffing food. There is always a thought, always a thought and a decision, and again, based on a lot of times a lie from Ed, but that process happens. Sometimes it happens rather quickly, but you first must know to expect to hear from Ed. And if you don't identify those very specific danger zones, you're going to constantly be caught off guard. So I want to encourage you to work on that as well, what your specific danger zones are. And you might have a couple of pages full of them. One of the things you might want to do in your notebook is say, well, these are places that are danger zones for me. It can be my mom's house. It can be a certain restaurant. It can be, places where you have nostalgic feelings about what you've eaten there in the past, or memories. It can be things where food's highly associated with it, like a baseball game or a movie theater, whatever that is. So you can have a column for places, you can have a column for people, you can have a column for feelings. So really work on that list. You need it in order to be able to move forward. So just wanted to encourage you to take what we've done. I realize that's a lot. That is a lot to ask you to take in a single week, but we only have 4 weeks in this group, and I want to make sure that we get to a place that you feel like you have some tools to beat Ed, because you can beat Ed. But in order to get to a place where I can give you those tools, you have to first embrace what I've given you in this first week. So I just encourage you to focus on that, break it down. Where am I with this? Truly, with acceptance, with commitment, with acknowledging Ed, and danger zones, and then say, okay, what do I need to do next? And then we can move on, and I will help you through that. So, again, if you have any other questions, let me know. I've got a lot to cover on Saturday. I'm super excited for that call because it's going to be chock full of information. I hope as many as possible as y'all can be there. But in the meanwhile, if there's something else specific that you want to talk about that's not already on my agenda, don't forget, you can ask. We haven't talked a lot about nutrition, but we certainly can talk about that. Some of you guys have had questions about high protein versus high fat and things like that. Ask them here in the group. I'm always happy, tag me. I've been doing, checking in and answering your questions on that too. So, again, just wanted to encourage you to use what we've gotten so far instead of trying to jump ahead to what all the answers are, because you can't fully put the tools that I'm going to give you to fight Ed into place if you haven't embraced the fact that you have an eating disorder. And so let's go back to that. Let me know where you are. I would love to hear from each one of you. And I will talk to you guys in tomorrow or the next day, and then of course on Saturday as well. Thanks everybody. Bye.